So hi, welcome to Binge Buddies Sports Talk. Bryan Dressel. With me, as always, is not Matt. Weird. We're gonna be okay, but we do have Joel. I did not mean to give you this nickname, but here you go, Joel. Jesus Christ, Dewitt.
You know, I don't like the standard you're setting for this. Yeah, I think you're expecting a little too lofty things.
Don't
here.
worry, Ryan's isn't much better.
Please be Buddha. Please be Buddha.
We also have Ryan Martin Luther King Jr. Lootens.
There we go.
That's
I know
right. I have a dream.
I know what this is. I think.
I told you last time. I'm on Ranker.
People. It was people going to the bad place.
It's best people ever.
Best
people ever. To ranker.com. Greatest people of all time.
That's right. Okay.
If you don't remember
I'm still recovering from the RoboCop wrap up, I think.
No, I get that. Yeah, if you don't remember, the people who beat Jesus Christ are Leonardo da Vinci, Nikola Tesla, and Galileo.
For those playing the home game.
Yeah, for those keeping track. Those three people who lived in history. Better than Jesus.
I guess I didn't actually witness any of their achievements.
There we go.
I feel like someone's going to call me sacrilegious for that.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure, like, as soon as we said Jesus Christ, we lost at least a couple people. Like, nope, not my type of jokes. Also, recording this on a religious holiday. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody listening. It's not St. Patrick's Day at all when this comes out, but, still, we recorded on St. Patrick's Day, so happy St. Patrick's Day to you for this week and next week, because that's how we do things here. I am loving this show, and this is the first time I've had to take breaks in between episodes, which is really messing with my head, but we're gonna still keep plugging along. How are you guys feeling about The Good Place now that we're good ways the way in?
The show's breezy.
Yeah,
it's very quick, but it's also really lighthearted and fun, despite dealing with some pretty dark humor and kind of heady topics sometimes. I think what's the main actress's name?
Kristen Bell.
She does a great job.
Oh yeah,
she is so snappy and quick. She's really expressive in all the right ways. Like, you can tell the difference between genuine happiness and forced happiness.
Yeah.
And everybody's good in this, but since she's the lead, you really notice it out of her, and she shines in it for sure.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I was gonna say her and Ted Danson both. I would give that same level of
100%.
I
feel like this is probably his best thing I've seen him.
It is the best work he's ever done, and he's played himself in Curb Your Enthusiasm,
and he's so good in Curb. But this is easily his best work. He's
so
incredible.
The fact that this man never got an Emmy is very upsetting. Just watching him and just the level of stuff he gets into in just these 4 episodes. But I still stand by what I said and hating Bryan so much because this show is so bingeable. But I'm good, and I am only watching 4 at a time. Remember, I am the only one. Joel, you've seen
I saw the first couple.
Okay, so I am going into this completely blind, knowing nothing. He, by the way, Joel is one of those people that dropped off, so he's one of the 3 million that they lost.
Yeah, he is.
But no, I'm really enjoying the show. It's very quirky. It's very witty. It's very quick on the humor, and I enjoy shows like that. But it has a great star in terms of Kristen Bell, but man, the supporting cast around her only builds her up. She is only as good as the people she is on screen with. My quote for this episode is not from her. It is from someone else, and it is hilarious. And just the way it was delivered. So I think these people knew what they were doing. They knew what type of show this was, and that's what makes it so good.
And I think they know how to make pretty much everybody funny.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
In this too. That's the shiny moment, is that even the characters that are borderline a little grating, they get their moments of humor. So nobody always feels left out.
Speaking of which, the first episode we're covering today is called Tahani Al-Jamil. Tahani can be a very annoying character, but as you kind of get to know her a little bit, I start to love her.
You sympathize with her, especially when you find out what she had to deal with when she was alive.
Oh yeah, she had it rough, man. And that's tough to say for somebody who's probably a billionaire and can do whatever they want, but man, Her fucking parents made the worst sibling rivalry I've ever seen in a TV show.
Working parents.
Thank you.
Are we jumping to a later episode?
That's just what we're referencing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
To talk about her character arc. But yes.
But yeah.
Yeah.
No, she starts very grating, and she's very clearly meant to be sort of the annoying foil.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, they open her up in a way that makes her empathetic.
But what I'm getting is, you know, as I'm watching the show and I'm watching a fresh take, like, you've got a lot of clashing personalities here. And I don't know what that's going to lead to. But it's, you know, I feel like it's going to be a bottled up moment, but I'm excited to find out.
Yes. All right, well, let's kind of get started. So the 2 episodes that we're covering today are episodes 3 and 4 of the Good Place, obviously. Episode 3 is titled, as I just said, Tani Al-Jamil. Episode 4, Jason Mendoza. I love this shit out of this show, so I don't really have like this is my favorite episode, my least favorite episode. My favorite quote doesn't come until season 4, way down the road, but beyond that, everything's pretty much even. So I don't really have, like, when we get to ranking, and this is going to be a bitch because I think all of it basically works. The only thing I will say, and this is kind of where we're starting to get in there now, is season 1 for me is the only one that has a bit of a drag to it. And that's because they're trying not to show their cards of where season 1 ends. And we know where season 1 ends. We know what kind of happens. We're not going to talk about it too much. But this is kind of where, like, I mentioned it before we started recording, that like the viewership massively dropped off after the first 2 episodes. And we're going to kind of see why over the next few episodes, because without showing their cards of bad place cards, it does feel a little like it could be I'm trying to figure out the way to say it, redundant. Like, you can't, like, okay, I get it, you know, Good Place, I get the quirkiness, I get this stuff, but like that can lose people after a while. Obviously not us, we're enjoying it, but I can see why the drop off started to happen. And then you'll see sorry, go ahead.
No, there's a structure thing, right? It feels very formulaic from some of these first episodes where after the first 2 episodes, it sort of focuses on one person primarily. They splice in their lived experiences compared to the Good Place, and then they're sort of forced to try to work through some of that bad choices or bad experiences and learn and grow from it.
Right.
So it almost feels kind of like, I don't want to say Monster of the Week, but that sort of serialized type of TV show.
Yeah. Okay. So let's kind of dive into Tahani Al-Jamil's episode a little bit. So we ended last week's episode with the note coming on the door, the cliffhanger of who could be sending that note. I think Chidi had the best theory, not knowing what the actual answer was. I think Chidi was like right on the money. Like, okay, no, he actually had a good idea. Not jumping too far ahead. But now that we know who it is, did you guys, I don't remember, did we guess who it was? Did you guys have any guesses?
I don't think we did.
Okay.
No, not necessarily. I kind of agree with you about Chidi. It kind of leans into the heaven is what you make of it kind of idea.
Yeah.
And so if you're in heaven and you're worried about all this, it kind of creates your own personal hell kind of thing.
Yep.
But it is fun seeing Eleanor throughout this whole thing trying to pin down Tahini for the action and being completely humbled the entire time.
For me, the running gag of this episode of the plant, I think, is one of my favorite things.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, holy God. Like, when the plant starts on fire in the episode. Oh, it's good. But I even just like without like the idea of the plant being a representation of Eleanor and Tahani's relationship, it's just funny on its own of her bringing the plant over, and like Eleanor's response of like, here's a pear tree, something you can actually eat, which would make it better, maybe. Like, who's to say?
Do you think pears are truly offensive in that culture?
Nope, I don't think there's a chance in hell it was offensive in that culture.
Okay, that's where I was leaning to. But like, I don't like pears, so I might be a little offended if somebody gave me pears.
That's
I
fair.
I get it.
But I loved her, just like, Tahani just kind of cracks me up. Like, she's like just that. She's obviously British, so not from Hollywood, but she has that very like Hollywood fakeness atmosphere to her of like, I can't
sickly sweet.
Yeah, like I can't trust a damn word you're saying. Like
Her
it's,
just how she's always smiling, like it's just like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing here.
yeah, okay. No, you're kind of creeping me out, but you know. Um, let's see what else we get in this episode. Is this also the episode where we get Chidi showing his manuscript to Michael? That in this
Yes,
one?
Yes.
all
Yeah.
3,900
Yeah.
so odd pages.
Man.
Yeah. Oh, this is also where he's trying to get him to learn a hobby, and nothing that he's doing is Chidi remotely interested in.
It's just the way he burns his life work to the ground and just tears him apart at the seams. I continue loving his character for many reasons, but a big part is that he's basically a grown child.
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah.
he uses words and describes things in a way that has no tact to it or consideration for people's feelings, but he doesn't realize he's doing it either. So
Oh, you're talking about Michael, right?
yes.
See, I think he does know he's doing it. Like, I just think, like, specifically with Chidi, it's tough love. Like, this is like, you
Okay.
need to hear this, man. Like,
Yeah.
like you were so far down the wrong path. But I think there is definitely some innocence to it. So maybe you're right. But at the same time, the opposite could be true. Sorry, I went for it.
Yeah, and I mean, I can see your point too. I'm basing it off of him talking about how this is his first good
Right.
place and like it's his first line of work. So in my mind, it's like, okay, you're the equivalent of a 18, 19, 20-year-old maybe. And when you're that old, you think you're an adult, but you say a lot of stupid shit anyway. So
Yeah.
Stupid shirt. Anyways.
feel free to bleep me. I'll do better next time.
Yeah. One thing that I do want to throw out that happens in season 3, my goodness.
Oh, wait, before you go on,
yeah.
I just in the scene, like the helplessness of Chidi, like the happy helplessness of him. Like it's like he wants to be better, but he doesn't. He just wants to be an academic.
Yeah.
Like he said it, but like when they come out and just say your book's a mess, he's like, oh. So, but like he wants to try, but he doesn't. I bridge that, and I like that because he's trying to change someone, Eleanor,
Yeah.
but he's not willing to change himself. So I just thought that that was
Mhm.
really unique.
Oh, you can launch in my point better than I was going to be able to, because that actually is what I want to talk about. Is in this episode, this is the beginning of what I think The Good Place does a lot. The Good Place is a shitload of dialogue. There is constant dialogue all the time, and I find it entertaining. But it does do a good job of showing and not telling, even with all that dialogue. And you start seeing Eleanor become a better person throughout
Yes.
this. She helps Chidi when he's really down on himself for that book, and she's like, you should be proud of yourself, look at what you did. And that's just being honest. She's not trying to earn points, she's not trying to do anything, she just started helping, and it's like, oh, it's working. And we're only in episode 3. It's like I love that sort of stuff because it's totally its mask, because everything she's saying is funny and it's super fast and it's just lightning quick, but it's also like, oh, it's working.
But the dialogue always interweaves with like memories or the actions. It's never used so far as a, hey, remember when this time I did this? Or Eleanor going, yeah, this is kind of like that time where I abandoned the dog or something like that. You know, it's always context or explanation defending their actions or something.
Yeah, because the flashbacks are always like they're there, but it's not Family Guy. It's not like they still work in the same sort of vein of like quick joke to make you laugh, but it's not like as set up and punchy as like something like Family Guy.
Right.
Not to take shots at Family Guy, or to take shots at Family Guy if you don't like it, whatever. All right, now I get to my note, which we're about to get into episode 4 here. It's my favorite note on my page today. Here comes Jason. You guys did not write this because you didn't know Jason was about to show up. But I did, and I love Jason so much. End of the episode, we finally get the point. At some point throughout the episode, she gets the note in the door, meet me at X o'clock. And then we meet Jason, and it is just the most glorious reveal, because he's still in character for a moment of the "you don't belong here."
Yeah.
And it's like, oh wow, like I remember watching this for the first time. I'm wondering what your guys' reaction were. Did you guys think like, oh, John Yu's talking, or did you immediately know like, oh, this is the fake?
John Yu.
I thought it was Gian. I was like, oh, John Yu's talking. And I'm like, oh, okay, here we go.
And then you get the, I don't know what's going on here. I'm freaking out, homie. You have to help. I'm scared.
That's that is it's such a great twist, right?
It is, isn't it?
It opens up the world a little bit, because not only do you know it's not just Eleanor, now the question is like, how many other people are here that don't belong?
Yes.
And how many of these people are, playing up appearances because they also realize, like, I don't belong here. As soon as somebody finds out, I'm going to the bad place.
Right.
But that reveal and like just his turn on a dime to turning from Jianyu stoic, silent monk to dirtbag from Florida is such a great like, whoa, what?
And so far, he's only gotten better as time's go on too. Like the dichotomy of him having to pretend to be this stoic monk, and then just him being a complete burnout.
The getting into episode 4, like for my second note of episode 4 is all of Jason's lines are amazing. But I believe it's in this one where it's like you see him arrive at the good place and like, Jianyu, when you were alive, you took a vow of silence. Do you want to keep that going here? Just the just like a little nod, like...
Well, my favorite is like just the reveal. She's like, "How do you know that I don't belong?" And it cuts to that party, and she's like, "I don't even belong here, and you can't say anything." I was like, "That is so good."
But even like Jason's line into it of I figured it out in my first night here with my powers of deduction. I'm not supposed to be here.
I'm not supposed to be here, but you can't say anything.
Oh,
that was so good. That was such a good reveal.
And then we get like this episode is largely focused on Jason and like how he was before he ended up in the good place, and how, or before, like kind of how he's been existing in the bad place or good place a little bit. Not so much that, it's more so him in Florida, and his Florida stuff is the writers of this show depiction of Florida. I would go to that version of Florida because it sounds absolutely hilarious at all times. And they keep it up. Like I love the, like, even just his little lines before we launch into it, like, I miss being myself. Myself was the best. And then it launches into, I think this is when he was trying to be an amateur DJ with the Acid Cat guy, who's also just a horrible scumbag.
Yes.
Yeah.
That guy,
Scott Dickinson.
I mean, Great Valley Deadmau5 is really a terrible human being. And also the whole like, oh man, I want to live my dreams, and someday I want to go to Jacksonville and Orlando, and just naming off all the Florida.
But even like the line between him and his friend of the, I have dreams, man. You got dreams? That's lit.
And when he reveals himself on the stage and he's like doing a skip dance almost in the front, he might as well be doing like a jig.
He's doing a jig, and it's St. Patty's Day.
Oh man, that has some just amazing stuff in it. What else happens in this episode? Because it's not all Jason, and I can talk Jason for hours and hours.
Do we want to talk about the bud hole?
Oh, I suppose we probably should.
Yeah, you got to talk about the sinkhole.
Yeah, well, we got to talk about the sinkhole. And we also got to talk about Jason's butthole, because the butthole is how Chidi finds out about Jason, because he finds out in this episode too, and has the greatest line of, "You broke Jianyu."
I love the looped joke, because they do the same thing with Eleanor and
Tahani?
Chidi.
Yeah.
Sorry. They do the same joke where like they're confused, and then they walk down to, oh, bud hole.
Yeah. Well, it's the way that the actor who plays Jason pronounces it. Like, he does it just right. Like, that I actually think he says butthole. Like, because I don't think it works as well without it. But like, just we need some place we can go to be ourselves. Let me show you my butthole.
What?
Butthole.
Oh.
And the whole point is that like that's his meditation room, and Tahini wants to respect it and stay out of the space.
Yeah.
And so that's his reason that they're in there is, Eleanor is trying to find a safe space for them to talk and be themselves and strategize. And then you show up at what's basically there's a line about like it's like if a 13-year-old's room meets with a 14-year-old
Yes,
boy's
yeah.
I
room.
was just looking to see, make sure that was on, but yeah, she goes,
It
"This
might as well
room
be
looks
like pinups on the side. He's playing Xbox.
yep,
You know,
looks like this room was designed by a 13-year-old."
Yeah.
I think that's next episode.
I mean, but it's great. Like I love the design of his room. Like it does look exactly how they describe it, which makes it just hilarious.
It feels like a 1990s basement with the wood walls.
But I also I just enjoy the description of like him just talking about himself, how he wants to be himself, and Eleanor's like, "No, you got to figure this out. Actually, wait, I'm running late for class." So she goes over to clash with Chidi, and then you start hearing the EDM, and Eleanor's line of like, "That's not music, that's EDM."
That's EDM.
Oh, it's just some great shit. I also love that like we don't really talk about it much here. It comes up more throughout the season. I'm not spoiling anything here. Jason is really the only person who figures out how to use Janet flawlessly right out of the jump.
Oh yeah.
It's really just because he has a childlike imagination and just asks for whatever he wants and then gets it. Like no one else knows to just ask her for anything, and he gets that right away. And you can tell with like the butthole for one, and then just his little DJ setup in their living room where he's trying to do his little dance and everything. It's good shit. Well, lost my notes. 1 second. So the other side of this episode, which is a little bit more, it's kind of a B plot, but turns into more of an A plot throughout the next few episodes, is the sinkhole. So while all the Jason stuff is going on, Tahani is working with the world's most angry but very nice chef.
I love this depiction of a chef because we all know that chefs can be so angry, but in the good place, this chef is so complacent. So as she is spouting off everything, "Oh, you want me to do this? Okay." It's just like it is beautifully acted, like
just so mad, but also totally fine with all of it. But
so complacent.
Yeah.
"You want me to do this? I can do it."
You want me to add another plate 10 minutes before opening?
Another
Sure.
table before opening?
More the merrier. Fantastic. But I also just like the Tahani just getting to flex her like party planning muscles, and just she's so like on it, but also just like out of place at the same time. I don't know how to describe it. It's funny like watching her like
she does great work, but she injects herself into everything around her. So it's almost kind of like this non-consensual help going on.
And like that's a very good way to put it. Non-consensual help. Like very, very helpful, but also can you get the fuck out of the way? Fork out of the way. Sorry, Ryan.
You're okay.
I'm trying.
I've given up.
I can't. I like it. It's a good bit.
We're only 3 episodes in. We're gonna get there.
We're gonna fork and get it. Anything else from these 2 episodes that we just blazingly skipped over? We mentioned the tree briefly. We didn't talk a whole bunch about it.
I love how Michael tries to get Johnny to talk because they know that Johnny, Chidi or not Chidi, what's her name?
Tahani.
Thank you. Tahani and Michael. Tahani. We'll get there eventually, like we said. We got 50 episodes. But they know that he is talking. And so they're like, you know what, we're gonna share stories around people's meals.
Oh, that's in the next one. Isn't that in the next one, or is that in this one?
Is it?
I believe it's this one.
It's this one. It
is this one. Okay. Yep. You're right.
So and they pick this other guy and he's just rambling on, and she's like, I'm gonna make a distraction. And it's just the lead-in is just so good.
He's rambling about like soup.
Yeah, soup. It's the best cup of soup he ever had.
No, he's talking about wings.
No.
Gary
wants to do wings.
Yeah.
But the guy
Glenn was talking about his
Glenn
soup.
is talking about the best soup ever.
How Eleanor's favorite meal was a Hunger Strike.
Yeah, that was great. But then Jason's so upset at his tofu, and just Eleanor's line, "Shut up and eat your sponge."
Yes. she's not having it. It's like, I don't get food, he's over there just enjoying his peanut butter trout or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
and I'm having to wrangle this child basically.
But
And the way she gets him out of it, I love the way she gets him out of it, which is
Oh,
also
yeah.
what creates the sinkhole. There's this huge 3 layer cake that's supposed to be like the marquee thing of the whole evening. Just goes straight through and like punches it, and then lifts her arm, and like half the cake is
Yeah.
about to fall off her hand, and then just all of a sudden this huge sinkhole happens. Mr. Soup falls down the sinkhole.
Yeah.
And he said something like, "Oh, this isn't great, but it was a great soup."
Oh no, it was the
It saved 10,000 lives.
yeah, but like it's like Michael's like, don't worry, we put your soup in the fridge for later. I know that might know your biggest fear. It was up there. Like, it's really good soup. I love Glenn. But I also love the lead in of Jason before she destroys the cake, because he wants to talk about the best wings ever, and they come from a place called Stupid Nick's, which is great.
Yep.
And all right, Jason, tell us about your meal. Let me tell you about Stupid Nick's. Just testing those waters.
Oh, and it's coming out of the mouth of the guy that looks like a Buddhist monk
Yeah.
who's speaking for like the first time in decades. Stupid Nick's.
Oh boy. Okay. So we have our sinkhole. Things are set. Is there any other cliffhanger that happens at the end of this episode? Don't think so.
No, I think that was the main thing. Like
it's a
Tahani shows up and this sort of leads to the idea that it's getting worse.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay. All right. So yeah, things are getting worse. Sinkhole's not fixing itself. Episode 5 up next. We're gonna talk about it next week. It's called the Category 55 Emergency Doomsday Crisis. We got 5 and 6 next week. We're gonna be great. But before we finish things up, we gotta talk about some quotes, quote unquote quotes of the quoting quote type.
Now we get 2 quotes, right?
One per episode. Okay. I'm gonna go first, and then we'll go around for over episode 3. Then we'll go do a round of our episode 4s. I'm hoping I don't take anyone's quote here. I've already kind of mentioned it once, but my episode 3 quote is absolutely Jason's quote, and it's the last line of the episode, which is, because I'm not supposed to be here. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know how I got here. I don't know what's going on, and I'm freaking out, homie. You gotta help me. I'm scared. So
Okay.
good.
I'll let Joe go because I have 2.
Okay. All right. There's this great bit in the episode where they're trying to cheaty his new hobby, and Janet is having some rework done to the way she approaches things. So Michael's been sort of tweaking her inputs to change her output, and there's like, it is just cycles of different like attempts to say stuff, and I'll have what she's having. It's still a work in progress.
I think I'm gonna go for the one who's like, I tried to make her friendly, and she just went straight for overt sexuality.
Yeah. and again, Cheaty, the expression and like frozen look on his face, it feels really genuine. Like he seems like the sincerely nice person out of everybody in this show so far.
Yeah.
The other one, in one of these episodes, they're talking about.
Oh wait, you gotta wait for episode 4 because Ryan's gotta go next. We're doing 3, then 4.
Oh, fine. All right, go ahead, Ryan.
I'm making it overly complicated for fun.
Okay.
All right.
So I really like the opening bit of this show. I'm just gonna say that. It's kind of like an honorable mention, but he's talking about the different succession of Greek philosophers. And Eleanor just goes, it's like, who died and left Aristotle in charge? And Cheaty just points at Plato and he goes, Plato. But that's not my line. That's my line is actually another Cheaty line. So my real line from this episode is when they're talking about his manuscript, and Cheaty goes, I have what doctors call directional insanity. I once got lost on an escalator. So not exactly Christopher Columbus.
I love that. Like, that is so great because Janet says right there, fun fact, Christopher Columbus is also. That scene just keeps punching, man.
It does.
All right, we're gonna go backwards, so you get to do your episode 4 as well.
Okay, that's good because there's a bit about suspenders, and so when Michael finally wears them, he goes, "Tahani, look, so dumb, but not dumber than belts." I just like, that's funny.
Oh man! All right, Joel, what's your episode 4?
I think one of Eleanor's moments in this show was talking about how like her boyfriend was trying to get her into ethical consumption, keeping in mind like bad behavior and whether or not you should support it.
Oh, are we
And
talking
one
about
of them,
are we talking about the scene we totally skipped of her in the coffee shop?
yes,
Yeah, perfect. Okay,
yeah.
great. I was annoyed we forgot that. Some
No,
good stuff.
sorry, I think no, that is the one because they're talking about like she brings the coffee cups home. He talks about how he was the owner was like the sexual harasser or
Yes.
something like that, and how they got caught on camera. And he's just being disgusting to this woman applying to this job. And he says near the end, "Did you know your left reference is a little bigger than your right?"
Yep. Yeah.
It's so gross. It's just like, it's not a problem. I'm just saying. That guy was the scuzziest guy in all of TV that week. I can guarantee it. And it was just so funny. Just no dog face. He didn't get the job. Jesus. Oh man. Okay, so my episode 4 quote is yet again another Jason line. It's going to be a theme moving forward a lot, I have a feeling. But this one was great. I wanted to go with the acid cat line about Fred Durst and the orgy in the boat because it's just so funny. But what really gets me is they're trying to figure out a plan. Jason throws out some random plans, and Eleanor's like, "No," and he's like, "You should listen to me. I came up with hundreds of plans in my life, and only one of them got me killed." Solid line.
Is that where they show how he got killed too?
I don't think they've shown how he got killed yet.
No.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm thinking of another moment.
Yeah.
They show a flashback that's very funny.
Yeah, when you see how he gets killed, it's pretty good. Actually,
Okay.
the only one that doesn't crack me up is Cheaty. Cheaty's is like, it's still a good death, don't get me wrong, but it's not like, it's certainly no lonely margarita mix for one. Like, but Jason's is, it's very Jason. I'll give him that much. He went out the way he lived, like a forking moron. But it's good stuff. We ready for some pluggy plugs? You can tell I'm watching a lot of Australians right now. I'm talking like them. This show, every other show at the ATH Network, check out athpod.com. We have After the Hype, which is back as a monthly show. That's also got a video component, so you can check that out on YouTube. And then yeah, that's all I'm plugging right now. This show and After the Hype.
Kelly and I do a podcast called Afterthoughts, very original name. We do mostly books, and right now, while we're doing Lord of the Rings, we actually are making good progress on Return of the King.
Dude.
We will be doing a intermission episode of Flowers for Algernon. Life is busy. We haven't done it yet, but by the time this is out, that'll be out too. Super GG Radio is a video game podcast about video games and all things adjacent, mostly indie coverage and news. It's turned into like a rumor mill more than anything lately, which I'm not sure how I feel about it, but people keep putting that kind of news in there. Yeah.
Well, I mean, rumors is more exciting than more people got fired in the games industry.
Yeah, and you know what? People love talking about that for some reason, as if we have any control over it.
Yeah,
like if you go to any other podcast, it seems like every week they're talking about the Nets firing, and it's terrible, and it's a bit downer.
Yeah. So stick with your rumors; they're much more fun.
Yes.
All right, go ahead, Ryan.
You can find me on the Front Row Network. We just wrapped up all of our Oscar stuff, so you can catch me on there, even though that's probably way gone. But
I guessed it on one of those. I jumped in.
Yep. So all that's done. Front Row Flashbacks taking a little bit of a hiatus. We may be coming back soon. Just keep your ears peeled. So
cool. All right. Well, thank you everyone so much for listening. This has been a blast. Be sure to tune in next week. I'm not going to try to name that episode again. It's something 55 crisis. You know, it's all bad. It's all bad, but it's going to be great. Bye.
bye.
Miss you, Matt.
Bye, Matt. We miss you. Did mine come through?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew it did.